Hello, fellow music fans. This video is going to be not necessarily different from a normal video that I make for this channel, but it's going to be kind of just talking about different artists who not necessarily switch genres of music, like pop musicians. Because they have been known to do that. Like, Taylor Swift isn't really one of those musicians because she went from being a she went from being a country music phenomenon to being a pop music icon. I wouldn't really call her an icon, though. More of a pop music aficionado, sort of. And with all of these pop music artists, like mainly Katy Perry is who I'm going to be talking about in this video. Katy Perry recently released a song called "Chained to the Rhythm" or something along those lines, and it's I think it's just to. I know it's mainly to wake people up and be like, oh yeah, listen to this, realize what you're doing, realize what you're listening to, what you're doing. I get it, but people are saying that Katy Perry is a part of the rhythm that everybody is chained to. And you have these bands like System of a Down and Scars on Boulevard and Rage Against the Machine. I would say more of System of a Down and Rage Against the Machine. More so Scars on Boulevard. I haven't really listened to too much of their music. I know that the lead singer and the drummer were from, or at least the lead singer was from System of a Down. So kind of more so System of a Down and Rage Against the Machine are bands that are actually musical groups that are against sort of the government. I think Rage Against the Machine is against anti-government because I saw a comment on one of their videos saying that a politician liked their music, and the lead singer of Rage Against the Machine responded with something along the lines of, "That's fine if you like us, but we don't like you at all. You are the machine in which we rage against." So that was kind of interesting coming from them. System of a Down, and more specifically, I think Serj Tankian's music is about war, and the negative connotations or the negative things that presents us in life. And if you listen to Serj Tankian's song, Empty Walls, that's a fantastic song about the downsides of war and what it can do, and it's just very good. I know I talked about Serj Tankian in my last video, but I can't help but not bring him up. And, that kind of music just makes you think about stuff, and kind of getting back on point with these artists that try to make songs about sort of being chained to something or kind of breaking out of this prison and, following the same sort of path and formula. They kind of built their success on following that predetermined sort of pop star path. Whereas bands like Rage Against the Machine, System of a Down, all of these other different rock metal bands that sort of kind of oppose governments and what they believe in. They kind of had to, I guess, take a different route and a different, forge a new path, so to speak. And then you have artists like Katy Perry who, like I said, was probably bred in a lab somewhere and kind of, I don't want to say brainwashed, but her music is kind of similar to a lot of other pop artists. I mean, I'm not saying pop music is terrible. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of all sort of the same-ish. And it follows, like, the same sort of formula and setup. And, it's about, happy things and positivity and stuff like that. Whereas music that's sort of... it's easy to pump out music that's like happiness and positivity and, California Girls, that kind of music it's easy to produce, it's easy to pump out, it's easy to write and get out to the masses. Whereas music that System of a Down makes and Rage Against the Machine, not too many people want that sort of image on their label. So it's very hard. It's a little bit harder, I would assume, to get a name for yourself with a band like System of a Down or Rage Against the Machine with those sorts of ideals than it is to get popular with, sort of rap and hip-hop and, just all-around positive music. Or more positive than, say, a song about the Albanian Genocide, which is a real thing that happened that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And that's the sort of stuff that Serj Tankian and Rage Against the Machine and System of a Down all sort of make music about, because especially for System of a Down, because they sort of lived through that, if you know what I mean. Like Serj Tankian, I remember him saying in an interview that his grandparents were survivors of that the Albanian Genocide that killed 1.3 million people, I think, around 1.3 million people. Did a little bit of research on it. So he has he's sort of telling a story from his own personal life experiences, or rather, a life experience that happened to his grandparents, which I guess is kind of okay. I mean, it works. It's good. It's awesome music. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's something that actually happened to his family, and it's a very unfortunate event that happened. And I think more light needs to be shed upon negativity in the world, because if we just keep focusing on all of this positive, upbeat sort of happy-go-lucky kind of stuff, all of that negativity will just sort of disappear. Which I guess isn't, negativity will... But I think we need to sort of bring to light these issues, is what I'm trying to say. Don't want to get into politics. This is not the place for that. But, I don't think an artist really should make a song about raging against the machine if they are a part of the machine in which they are trying to rage against. I don't have a problem with people, suddenly halfway through their career realizing, oh, shit, I'm just a mold. I was created from a mold, and they're trying to break out of that mold, and they're trying to do something different and be something else. Taylor Swift did it successfully, and she went from a successful country music artist to a very successful pop music artist. I don't like her music very much, but she transitioned from one genre to another. She went from country music to pop music. So, I'm not saying that artists should not change their style of music or switch up the genres every now and then, but when you just make a song out of left field about how people are chained to a certain rhythm and they should really break free from that, and then just keep going with how you normally just pump out, pop music hits, it's a bit strange. And people might ask questions. So that's where I'm going to end this little rant, sort of, right here, because, it's a good time to stop. So the comment section will be open for discussion. I will be probably monitoring the comments. I'm not too sure though. I may not be. I might just forget about this channel again for another month. I am coming down off a cold, so hopefully the next video I put up I'll be a lot better and not as sick. So I'm gonna go take care of my sickness in health, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy listening.